At our last convention, Steve had an opportunity to interview Dr. Tim Kershenstein. Tim is a hero to me. He was a combat pilot in Vietnam. Anybody that has fought and sacrificed for our country really holds for me personally a special place in my heart. Tim came back from the Vietnam experience and continued to be a commercial airline pilot. He left that, became an MD, and if that wasn't enough, he also got his PhD in holistic medicine. He's one of our diamonds, one of our own. Dr. Tim believes that Max GXL will become a household name around the world. He believes very much in dedicating his life to making a difference in the health and wellness of people all over the planet. Let's go to that interview and have a look at Steve and Dr. Tim.
Now tell me what you know about glutathione.
Well, glutathione was, of course, in school we had pharmacology as a mandate, but nutrition was sort of like a sidebar. But I took it a little bit further and knew that glutathione back then was a supplement, and yet there was no technology or no delivery system to get glutathione intercellular. So when I was introduced to Max, the key of anything, if you have all the science, but if it works and it's demonstrable, then that validates the science.
And so what first intrigued you about GXL? Because GXL, as we know, is not glutathione. It's just the precursor nutrients the body uses to manufacture.
Sure, it was the delivery system.
Right.
And that was what was really important. And the process of, we know that if you take it through the digestive tract, it gets destroyed. And even we know that intravenously it's not that effective. But the process of a tripeptide, anytime you can take glutamic acid, cysteine, and glycine, which are nothing but small amino acids, and they bound together, and their objective is to eradicate free radicals. Right. It's the principal antioxidant. And then you have lipid peroxides, which are damaging or even destroy cells. So the delivery system enabling the body to receive glutathione intercellular was quite profound.
How did you hear about GXL? And how did you test whether or not you thought it was really effective?
Carl Stanitsky, who's an associate, sent it to me, and Carl called me, and out of courtesy, I said, yes, I'll get involved, because glutathione sounded interesting, but I was a little dubious whether or not it could accelerate the cells, as was being spoken. So then I partook of the product, and I told my wife, Jackie, I said, Jackie, I think I'm in another zone. I just feel better. I've always had energy, but I just felt a better mental acuity. And then from that point, we flew out and visited you, and that was my process. Yeah.
So then tell me what happened with you and with Jackie once you guys started getting on the product. What changes did you see?
Well, you know, the term is a metabolic imbalance syndrome that we have, and what is that from? That's from, in my opinion, white and sticky. We're too much on the carbohydrates. And in China, they classify sugar as a white poison. So if we can moderate that and then at the same time get some energy, because normally what are we doing when we're having a low ebb? We're having a Snicker, or we're having an energy drink or something. That's just artificial stimulation. So when I got on the product, I noticed Jackie had a better, just chilled out, so to speak, just really relaxed. And I think months later, she says, Tim, at first, she says, Tim, you're too busy to do this. And now she says, I'm so glad you're involved, because it's helped her out. So I've seen a really marketable change. And another thing I've seen in Jackie, she has a different glow, because we know glutathione works on the skin, which is the largest organ, and we have cells from the tip of our nose to our toes. And my mother-in-law, who's 82, she lives with us. And Susie's now on the product, and it's a day that doesn't go by where she's not on it. And I think some people are biologically negative thinking at first. And once you penetrate their thinking, get them to listen, pique their interest, and they get on the product, because the product is the issue.
Yes.
The science is one thing, but what really sold me was the product. It's demonstrability, what I experienced with my family, and then I brought it out to my colleagues. What free radicals are. Free radicals are, as we have combustion in an automobile, you're going to have carbon waste out. We have metabolic waste when we have combustion in the cells. And what remains are singlets, unused O2. It's missing an unimpaired ion. So glutathione's objective is to eradicate that free radical when it produces in a cell. So when you have out of control or unbridled oxidative stress, then all of a sudden you have issues, inflammation, for example. So from a cellular level, it's retarding the inflammation.
Dr. Keller once told me that that the other antioxidants that the cell creates, catalase, SOD, CoQ10, each handle a particular type of oxidation, but none of those can handle all types of oxidation. On the other hand, he said glutathione is the only antioxidant, period, that can handle all types of oxidation.
Sure. Glutathione's been known to, and what it supports other activities of other antioxidants, and it helps regenerate, like vitamin C, vitamin E, and A. And when we deplete that, meaning the body's imposed on oxidative stress, then all of a sudden what takes place, depletion of glutathione goes down. So glutathione has a support mechanism, plus it goes to the liver. The liver is the largest detoxifying organ in the body, and its job is to, one, reduce the carcinogens, at the same time the waste, and ensuring elimination of these waste products from the liver. And then it supports the white blood cells. Now the white blood cells are a defense mechanism against all kind of different viral problems, inflammation. So what happens, anytime you can support the lymphocytes, the white blood cells, glutathione does that. So it has many roles and many jobs.
Wow. Since you've been a Max associate, what kind of response have you seen among the people that you have shared with? I mean, have you built a Max business, or is it just something you're doing casually?
No, I'm a diamond in the program.
Wow.
So, but I've been sharing it with them, and they're getting a better quality of life, and that's really what I've seen. And an interesting fact, that medicine sometimes takes a while to evolve and accept a new science. Well, glutathione's not new, but the delivery system certainly is a new system. And Peter Mitchell got the Nobel Prize for CoQ10. And he showed the efficacy to heart health, because the heart muscle and the mitochondria in the heart have about 5,000 mitochondria per cell, whereas the bicep has 200. It's a muscle that needs help. So here's with the product Max GXL, it really, CoQ10 and the infuse has really helped out the body to perform, and I see people having tremendous success. But my point about the CoQ10 is that it took, in 1976 he got the Nobel Prize, but 1998, 21 years later, that's when it got put into the medical books.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it took a while.
Wow.
And even today, mainstream doctors, even though there's 6,000 research papers done, still don't endorse CoQ10, don't recommend it. And it's the same thing with Max GXL, but in time, it will evolve when it'll be a household word.
Yep,
Max
I believe
GXL.
that. I believe that. Well, thanks so much for the interview, partner.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Thank you.